What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back on the couch for this review for that good old Love and Marriage DC. And can I tell you something? Jamie Tyler, you on my list for that little tap that you did at the intuitive therapist. You better get your life, sir. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So the episode starts off with Quick going to the doctor because he recently had a situation where his wrist actually went numb because he's been working so much, doing all these events, and his wrist just said, listen, you don't want to stop working? Then I'm going to make it happen because you are doing too much and it's an overload going on here. So apparently he had a lot of inflammation in his wrist. So it just pretty much stopped functioning. Okay. So the doctor is saying that eventually he's going to lose all movement in his wrist and it's going to stay numb if he doesn't stop working so much. So he needs to really dial it back, do a little less. And she recommended that he wears a splint or a wrist covering of sorts to get his wrist together. Here's my thing. I get it. And we learn later on in the episode that he loves to take care of his family. He wants to make sure that they don't want for anything, but he's not listening. He's not getting that the family really wants you around more. So I don't know what kind of background conversations that they're having because Ashley seems to be at that point in life where she's like, I want you around more. I don't want you working so much. But sometimes people can say that to you, but then they're telling you about all these things they want and need, or, this bill is due, or we got to pay for this, or, we got to live this type of life. So it's like you're damned if you do, and then you're damned if you don't. If I don't do all these events to make all the money that we have, that our life is going to change. Is my wife ready for that? Yes, you want me around more, but are you willing to accept what comes with me being around more? Or it could be where he just want to work a lot because he wants to be at a certain level in life and he doesn't want to change that status. So hopefully the checks that they're getting from this show can increase and he can stop doing all these damn DJing events, because clearly your body is going to make you stop doing it before your mind tells you that it's time to stop doing it. So hopefully he stops doing all these events and get his shit together. Moving on. Oh, and I thought it was funny that before they left the doctor, she was like, see, listen, you're going to need to get your wrist together because how you going to grab my ass? And this is a lot of ass. So you need to make sure that wrist is working, sir. And he told me, I use my mouth. And I was like, okay, this way I'm getting on up out of here because you're doing a little too much. You nasty. Moving on. So Arena meets up with her daughter, Brittany, which I absolutely love their relationship. Mind you, they both look just alike. Like Arena definitely spit Brittany out. Like Brittany is Arena. That is her whole face. Okay. That's her twin. Like every time I see them, I got to do a daggone double take. If it wasn't for Arena being, rather real thin, not to say that Brittany is, she's little, she got a little body on her. She's thick, you know what I mean? So that's the only way I can really tell their asses apart. But both very, very gorgeous women. I love seeing her with her daughter in a relationship that they have. So they basically sitting down talking about Jamie and his foolishness. So Arena tells her that about the situation at the club in the last episode where they had a little tiff, outside of the club where she wanted him to move the car or park the car, whatever. He was yelling at her or whatever the case may be. So apparently he went over Brittany's house complaining about Arena. And Brittany was basically like, here you go, doing it again. You over here yelling at people and doing the daggone most and trying to control the situation, and you're not listening. And she basically was saying how he don't listen to people. He want to tell everybody what to do, and he needs to stop doing that. So they both have a rather tasty looking meal over talking about his bullshit. So I love the relationship that they have and the fact that they can vent to each other, honestly. And if you look at Arena's page, she really does spend a lot of time with her daughter. Like they hang out doing things. So I guess it's good that she's older and now, they can really have a good mother daughter bond and they can have those close conversations. So I like their dynamic. I'm loving the Tylers, period. Okay, period. So moving on, Quick and Ashley have Chris and Monique over to have takeout and basically chill and just vibe out. So Monique ends up talking about the previous event at Ashley's event and how she's going on and on apparently because production, y'all are messy as fuck because y'all made it seem like she was just talking and talking and talking like the Clear Eyes commercial, and she just kept on talking and monopolizing the situation, which they said your ass was doing that on Potomac too, Monique. Do you just be talking too much, girl? I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, she was talking. Ashley is she's in her feelings like, you know what? I didn't really want to be talking about this. I just wanted y'all to come over, hang out, have a good old time. But I feel like if Monique didn't talk about the situation, then Ashley would be side eyeing her too, because it'd be like, okay, so we just had this whole blow up situation that you was in the middle of and you ain't gonna say shit. You ain't about to have her just over there kicking the bobo and y'all don't bring it up at all. So I didn't really get why she didn't understand why they were having the conversation. But then she also felt like Monique was really pretty much having the conversation to run interference. And Monique may have been over there. I think she's just a person that talks a lot, period. Admittedly so. She has said that. But I also think that maybe she was talking a little bit too much just to cover up. I mean, or to prove that she's not a messy person. Like she wanted to really prove that she didn't come telling them everything that Winter said to try to get things popping off. Which, Monique, listen, at the end of the day, sis, you did. Okay. Now, I get it. I don't think it was malicious because the way Winter communicated the information, she did say it as if, like, girl, this is what they said to me and this is how it was happening or whatever. But if y'all are good girlfriends, you had to know that was a good girlfriend conversation. But maybe she didn't. And Winter should have told her, listen, this ain't something that I'm trying to get back to the crew, but this is how I was feeling. But also, sis, you do know you being recorded, right? So they was gonna hear everything you said anyway. So whether Monique took it back or not, it is what it is. But I maintain that I'm glad she did take it back because we needed to get this season kicked off. We needed to get something started. Okay. So moving on, Quick makes a comment and he says that, people are always going to come after you when you're successful with rumors and allegations. And Ashley is pretty much like, listen, what you're not about to do is come for my husband, okay? Because I don't play that shit. And that's that on that. So Monique says, listen, I would love to have y'all come to lunch so we can kind of iron this thing out. And she was like, I felt so bad about it. I had to go to my intuitive therapist the next day because it just felt like it was a big weight on me and I needed to go talk to somebody. So Quick is intrigued by this intuitive therapist and said that they need to go see the therapist too and they would love to go. So Monique is going to set up ultimately the session that they had later on in the episode where all the couples go and talk to the therapist. So moving on, in the next scene, Winter has a discussion with her daughter, Kayla, who's 20 years old, and her son, CJ, which is 18. And can I tell y'all something? Those children, they're not kids, they're adults now, but her kids are very mature. Like A1 1000%. Like I would never think that they were as young as they were. Like the perspective that they gave, the ability to listen, to the ability to assess the situation the way that they did. Like basically Kayla was telling her mom, listen, this Negro love bombed you. You fell for the gifts and the glamour of it all, and that's okay, mom. We see you for what you did, but you made a mistake. And that's that on that. We're not going to judge you. We're not judging you. It is what it is. He acted like he was a person that he wasn't. You fell for it. Move on. And that's it. So for your kids to see the forest for the trees, I think that's amazing. Like, girl, winter, summer, spring, or fall, you're not a good relationship therapist, but you a damn good mother. Because if you raise them kids and they're like that, in tune with their emotions, able to have a conversation, see shit for what it is, You the real MVP. You did a good job with them kids, sis. And that's about the only thing you done did good on this daggone show. But moving on, Winter says she's just eager to get this divorce over and move on with her life, child. So in the next scene, Monique has dinner with Winter and Ashley to pretty much smooth over their issues, okay? And she reiterates for the 50,000th time that she wasn't trying to be messy. She wanted to get them together so that they can iron out their differences and hopefully come to a consensus so that when they're hanging out, it's not awkward or whatever. So she, again reiterates over and over again that she was just communicating the information the way that it was given to her, and she didn't get from the conversation from with her and Winter that this was like just a good girlfriend conversation. She thought that the way that Winter told her what went down was the way it went down. And Winter basically was saying, girl, I know you fucking lying. That is not how I communicated the information. But from what I saw as a viewer, I gotta err on Monique's side. It did look like Winter was basically telling her the situation the way it happened. So I don't really think Monique was trying to be messy, but I do think she knows how this thing works. So she had to get it popping. Okay. But moving on, Winter said that she wasn't trying to be mean or malicious, and she apologized to Ashley if she said anything that was terrible or bad about her husband. That's not what she meant. And Ashley was basically like, well, I don't have any feelings towards you. I didn't have any feelings towards you in the beginning, and I don't really know you like that. But what you're not about to do is play with my husband. That's what you're not going to do. And Winter was like, okay, but I understand that. She said, but I would never call another black woman a bitch. And Ashley said, bitch, 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 bitch. I'm gonna call you a bitch, whether you're black, white, blue, or green, bitch. Okay. What you're not about to do is talk about or play with my husband. Okay. And that's that on that, period, Pooh. Don't talk about my husband, okay? Because I'm not here to be playing with you. We on this camera and all that, but don't let it fool you. I will whoop that ass over my husband. Okay. And I get it, sis. Don't be talking about nobody's husband, and don't be going, listen, winter, summer, spring, or fall. I don't care what you saying, sis. You were being messy. Now, granted, we thank you because you ultimately got the season kicked off too. For you to not be a main cast member, you damn sure are in the middle of a whole lot of shit with a whole lot of people. But let's make it clear. You was being messy. You were in front of a camera talking shit about people that you obviously don't know. So I don't know what you was expecting to come out of this. Like y'all wasn't about to be besties, kicking the bobo together. So I don't understand what the hell you thought was about to happen. So this is a relationship that you're doing terribly with, okay? It's not working out. You and Miss Ashley are not going to be friends, and that's that on that. And Ashley even said it before she left the table. She said, all right, I'm good. We can move on. But bitch, I still ain't your friend. We're still not friends. And you guys, I'm going to bid you adieu. Have a good evening. And this was fun. And I was like, this girl is relentless. Like, she ain't got no time for the bullshit, okay? But apparently they walked away from this dinner. Monique apologized again. She really tried to make it clear that she wasn't trying to be messy, which you was. And she really doesn't want Winter to feel like she was trying to throw her under the bus. And, at the end of the day, she kind of was trying to protect Winter by, trying to smooth the situation over, bringing things up and trying to bring light to it, but say that this is not how she meant it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Hopefully they done move the hell on, child. So moving on, they go to the salt cave with Terry Christine. She's an intuitive energy therapist, which, child, I'm gonna go to Miss Terry because she is on one. Okay, so she reads the hell out of Jamie Tyler first. Okay, so all the couples are laying down on their little prospective pillow mattresses and whatnot with their blankets in tow, and she says that Jamie gives off a bully persona. Like he doesn't want to look weak. So he gives off this bully persona, kind of like, I got to get you before you try to get me kind of thing. And she says that he always likes to take control of a situation and everyone around him to make sure he doesn't look weak. And his behavior is pushing people away, actually, and it doesn't make him appear as kind as he really is inside. And he creates situations where he makes it awkward with other people and he doesn't know how to fix it, so he just walks away. And she references him moving forward with his chest and him intimidating people due to his childhood. And Jamie in the confessional actually admits that this is true. He agrees. And Arena is like, oh my gosh, she is spot on with you. And here's my thing. I do think that, I don't know if they talk about it or going to talk about it, but Jamie is formerly a part of law enforcement. So that could also be a reason why he's always on guard. He always is in this protective mode. He don't trust people. Like, everybody is a criminal in his head, okay? Or everybody is out to get him. Every, situation is you starting off in a fucked up situation with him, and you have to earn his trust. You got to prove yourself to him. And here's my thing. You don't have to be in control of every situation to control every situation, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't gotta come off with this tough guy. I feel like that's kind of like a DC thing. People always gotta come off with this tough guy, tough female image to show that you ain't to be played with. That's that old Southeast DC bullshit. Okay, knock it off. Grow up. We got to grow up. You got the money, you got the lifestyle, your family is taken care of, you doing your thing. You don't got to do all of that. If somebody is a fool and being foolish, you don't fool with them. And that's it. You don't got to come off with this hard exterior. And I think that a lot of people from back in the day, especially in their age bracket, like, that's their mindset, like, don't fuck with me kind of mentality. And it's like, put your damn guard down. Everybody ain't trying to fight all the time. It's just too much. And so I can kind of see that with him. I see him, they talk about it with Arena, where everything got to be perfect. Like, they always have to look perfect. And I think that this show is really good for them, because what it's going to do is help them to lay their guard down and not always feel like everything got to be perfect. Everybody got to look at them as the example, or they always got to be in the mix. Like, you can just be chill and do your own thing. You don't have to try to be seen all the time. And that's a lot. That's a lot of weight to be on somebody's shoulders, constantly trying to live up to this image that you've created for everybody to see of you. And I've seen Jamie and Arena Tyler around for years, with him doing the parties, her being in network marketing and being successful, or whatever the case may be. Like, they always have given this perfect persona. I've never seen Arena with anything out of place. I would love for sis now to walk around without a wig on, no eyelashes, no makeup, and just be her damn self, because she's a beautiful woman without it. Like, she doesn't need all of that. Be yourself without trying to be perfect all the time. If that's you, okay, cool. But it seems like that's not really what you want to be doing all the time, from when she has a discussion with Arena, which we'll get into it. So next, Terry then talks to Quick and Ashley about Quick dealing with issues when he was 9. She talks about 3 9. So apparently his mom told him that she was dying from cancer when he was 9. And in 1999, his father passed away when he was, I think he said he was 18 in 1999. So he's gone through a lot of trauma in his life with his, by way of his parents, that has made him feel like he has to always take care of people around him. Like, he has a whole lot of weighted pressure of his family, and promises that he's made to his parents, and how he never wants to, it's a coping mechanism for him to always constantly be working, because when he's working, he doesn't have to worry. Because as the therapist said, she said he has this need to make everybody around him happy. And when he's doing these DJ sessions, it's a easy way for him to make everybody around him happy, for him to fulfill everybody's needs. Like, you're providing the music, you're providing a good time, you're partying, everybody is having fun. So that makes him feel fulfilled, because that's another form of him taking care of other people, and he's getting paid for it. So he's taking care of his family, and hence life is great for him in his mind. So he don't have to think about anything bad, because he's ultimately bringing in money, having a good time, whatever the case may be. So then Terry brings up a good point. She says, well, your wife wants you to be deep with her instead of working all the time. And Quick says Ashley wants him to cry all the time. And Ashley says, no, I don't. I just want you to be real. And I can understand that, because my thing is, working all the damn time is is not going to be good for your relationship. Like, I see Ashley kind of getting to a breaking point here, and I think that he needs to open his eyes and see it. Like I said before in the beginning of the review, I hope that Ashley is not being one of those women that are like, I don't want you working all the time. I want you around, but then I want you to still be bringing all this money in. There's that's not a balance on the scale. So when you're telling him that you want him to be around more, you have to also meet that with, okay, I'm willing to relinquish XYZ so that you can be around more, because that you being around more means so much more to me than this materialistic thing, or this thing that I'm able to do with the kids, or this thing that I'm able to do on my own or buy. So I think that he needs to hear that more, because men are more checklistish. Tell me what you want me to do and how to do it, and that's that on that. But honestly, I also think that he finds fulfillment in working all the time too. So he's just overall not listening and not hearing anything she's saying, because even in the confessional, she's reiterating that, listen, once again, somebody else telling your ass you need to stop working all the damn time. And he is just like making a joke out of it and excuses on why he should work some more. And I'm like, sir, come on now. So then next, he addresses Monique and Chris. I'm sorry, Terry, the woman, not he. Terry addresses Chris and Monique, and she tells him to stop living through Monique, because when she's not happy, he can't understand her. And Chris says in the confessional, he says he interprets that as her saying that he needs to go ahead and pursue his coaching career. And Monique says, no, that's not what she's saying. She's saying that you really need to go deep and stop living through me and find out what fulfills you. And I'm like, girl, maybe being a coach is what fulfills him. Did you think about that? Like, I feel like with Monique, you want to tell him to go deep, but you want to tell him how to go deep. Like, you want to direct how he finds his feelings. And you can't do both, sis. You got to let him figure it out. Like, you can't tell him how you want him to give you the reasons or communicate like, you can't tell him what he's thinking or feeling. Maybe he feels like, okay, I'm at home, I'm trying to be a supportive husband because I feel like you have been my backbone for so long, like with the kids and me being in the NFL and doing all these great things to bring home the bacon. Now I'm not working anymore. We do have money, thank God, because we were made smart money decisions. Now you're working. So he probably thinks that his place is to now do what you were doing in the past, help you with the kids and do things around the house. But obviously, that's not all that you're asking him to do. Yes, you want him to pick up the slack with the kids as well, because you have this morning show going on. But maybe he feels like he felt more fulfilled when he was doing, playing football. So that's his connection by coaching. Not because she said in the confessional also that he equates everything to working. My thing is, I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he really truly enjoys football. Put some respect on Chris Samuel's name. He was like one of the best players. Like, he's still talked about on the Washington, whatever they call now, child, the Washington Commanders. Hell, when they were the Redskins, he was the bomb.com. Okay. He was the highest paid player on the team. So to come away from that, and now you want him to be Mr. Mom, or in his head, that's what he thinks you want him to be. He's trying to find his way, and coaching seems to be his way. So that may be what fulfills him. That may be what helps him, by him feeling like he's bringing money into the household. That can help fulfill him into thinking about ways that he can be more fulfilling for you, because he's now fulfilling himself. I'm just saying. Moving on, in the next scene, Terry then addresses Arena, and how she always feels the need to be perfect and cover things up. Arena tears up, and Jamie hits her as she's tearing up, as if to say, stop that shit. Like, stop crying on camera. Like, and I'm like, sir, what the hell is wrong with you? You do know he must have forgot about the cameras, because why would you do that and think that they weren't going to capture that? And then Terry says, okay, what you're doing right now, don't do that. that's not okay, because she's having a breakthrough and having an emotional moment. And instead of you consoling her or trying to work through it with her, you're like covering it up. Just like I said, like you're sitting here basically encouraging the perfection that she constantly is trying to exude. And she's over here breaking down because obviously this is not something that she wants to feel like she has to do all the time, which is appear to be perfect. So I was like, wow, I cannot believe that he did that. And so in the confessional, Arena even addresses it. She's like, instead of you giving me a hug, you over here tapping me on the thigh, telling me to stop crying. She was like, that's messed up. Like, you need to learn to me be more in tune with my feelings and address it and stop trying to basically shut me up. Like, that's not okay. And I just feel like, they need to come back. Like, they need a couple more sessions, and hell, bring Chris and Monique back with you. So in the last scene, Quick meets with his brothers at the gravesite for his dad because after the intuitive therapist session, he got to thinking about his family and what's most important to him. So they actually pull out a letter that the mom wrote them when he was 9 years old, basically telling them that she was dying. And he said that this is the second time he's actually read it in his life. The first time he read it was with his wife, and he didn't even cry at his parents' funerals. But he got emotional as he was reading the letter. And he was just talking to his brothers about how his dad, when he was 9, 10 years old, told him, and well, his mom even addressed it in the letter that she wanted him to take care of his brothers, even though I guess one of the brothers is older than him, but she felt like Quick was the most mature one. So she wanted him to take care of her brothers and take care of his brothers and take care of his father. So he felt like there was a lot of pressure put on him at a young age to be this provider and protector of his family. So that's kind of went with him all his life. So that's all he knows. All he knows is how to take care of people and always be there for other people. But then I also I would also challenge him to say, well, who's there for you? Who's going to provide for you? Like, who do you vent to? Who do you, express your struggles with? Who do you feel like is your backbone to fall back on? Everybody needs to have that outlet. And I think that he is holding on to so much. And men in this I ain't crying stuff. He was like, I don't be crying. You don't need to tell nobody that you're not crying, sir. You're a human. It's okay for you to cry. I would love for men to stop this whole I'm not a crier bullshit. You are a human being. Things are going to make you emotional. It is what it is. It's a normal bodily function. Okay. So basically, they talk about, they discuss his parents, and he says in his confessional that he wants to make more time with his brothers. He's not going to be something that happens overnight, because his family and his wife and his kids come first. But he would like to, in a perfect world, or sooner than later, figure out a way to hang out with his brothers more and to do more with his family. So he even suggested, like, maybe I'll have them come out to a party or a couple times or whatever, so that we can hang out, like when I'm DJing or whatever the case may be. And I need to figure out how to spend more time with my family. And I really hope that he does figure out more time to spend more time with his family, because I'm starting to think that the only time he really hanging out with his damn family or doing things with his wife is when he's recording for this damn TV show. And in his head, he's being fulfilled twice, because he's making a check off of being around his wife, and he gets to be present with his wife in the moment and have a good time. So if that's how he's thinking of it and it's working, great. But what are y'all going to do in the off season when y'all are not filming? So I really just want him to get more in the mindset of doing what's best for your family emotionally and physically, not just financially, because that seems to be something that's an ongoing issue with them that they really do need to solve. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show with us too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.